Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection, bringing you 3 unique perspectives and varying skill range. I am the captain of this vessel, Andrew. With me, the one who wanders off and never returns back to the ship when you call him, Keith.
Hello.
And the one with a lot of gunk in the trunk, Liz.
Hey guys.
And this week we did the gunk. But before we get into the episode, I just want to do a quick housekeeping note. I said it before one time in another episode, but Spotify now has a rating. So if you are listening to us on Spotify, please do us a favor and give us a rating. We greatly appreciate it. But anyway, getting to the episode, as I said, we did The Gunk by Image and Form. The Gunk is a third-person action platformer where you are playing a scrappy explorer who goes to an abandoned planet because you found a strange energy reading and you hope this might be your big payday. So you guys land on this planet and find out that it is just covered in this mysterious gunk. And you take it upon yourself to clean it up. Just like Captain Planet.
He's a hero.
But going around, I will start. For me, The Gunk is a game, but barely a game. It was just, for me, it was just okay. It was very short, which I liked, but I do have some issues with it. But overall, though, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I think I largely agree with you on there. It's a game. It's nothing that I was wowed by. It's nothing that I would highly recommend to somebody if they were asking me game suggestions or anything like that. But it's definitely fun and it's worth playing if you're into these types of games. Like it had enough that I enjoyed what I was doing while I was playing it. So, game.
I'm going to give it a game. I actually found it very relaxing. Like, I love playing it at the end of the day. And I think that the graphics and the music were pretty spectacular. For me, I just wish that it was a little bit more complex when it came to fighting and platforming. Yeah. And so for me, it felt like a simple, good game.
Yeah, this game's very easy and very accessible. Mm. So yeah, if you have some, younger players in your house, like this is definitely a game like young kids can play. It's very forgiving with its deaths, and the platforming is very simple. But getting to the Gunk, this story, as I said, you are one of 2 people that are on this ship, and you guys are basically at your end. You guys have very little money, very little fuel, and you find this strange energy reading on this planet. So you're hoping maybe you can discover a new energy source and make it big and finally be able to pay off those payments and finally live the good life. But as soon as you land on the planet, you find this semi-sentient gunk that is just essentially sucking the life out of the planet. So your character, is it Rami?
Ronnie.
I always kept calling her Rami. But you have this little vacuum cleaner, essentially, and you suck up the gunk and start restoring the planet. So overall, what did you guys think of the story? But before I let you guys go, keep it vague, because at the end, I want to talk some story stuff. So at the very end of the episode, we're going to get into some spoiler stuff. But the story in this game overall wasn't fantastic, so I don't feel like we're spoiling too much. But I don't want to, ruin people's opportunity to experience the story if they want.
I thought for me, it was a little weird that they didn't go more into their relationship. I'm assuming they're a couple.
Yeah.
Ronnie and Beck, they definitely have a relationship.
Because, I don't know.
No, because I felt like the way that they were talking about, you don't contribute this to the relationship. You don't contribute that. Bex feels like all of the responsibility is on her shoulders, whereas Ronnie is just let's explore, let's do this, but she's not thinking about the financial cost, the upkeep of the ship and stuff. So for me, it very much felt like an argument within a relationship. But then I also thought it was really weird that Bex, I just felt like she didn't really have that much compassion, and she was treating people poorly because she was angry at Ronnie. So for me, it just I felt it felt kind of difficult to really feel bad for her.
So I think it's interesting when you point out where Bex was kind of all business, let's just get what we can and get out of here. And when you put thing from that's where I actually can kind of think it's more hey, they're business partners / friends. But I think there's just way too much investment in each other that they're not involved somehow. And so that's where I definitely think they're partners. There's just too many times where you're off exploring, and Bex isn't just annoyed that you're off exploring. She's also concerned. She's, she mentions how it was that you lost your hand in the first place, why you have this little vacuum thing. And she just keeps bringing up hey, we almost lost each other one time. Let's not do it again. So at the very least, they're best friends. But I took it definitely more as an actual relationship. but I also don't know if it matters. Like
Yeah.
the story could proceed without any bit of it, but that's what I think.
But I also think too, like Bex, I feel like she kind of wants to do the fun stuff as well, but then she goes to an unknown planet that could have dangerous aliens, and she's wearing Crocs. You're telling me she didn't pack any other shoes on that ship? She's like, oh, I can't walk around in these Crocs. It's like, you're that stupid, but you can take care of a ship?
I mean, it
That's a
sounds
good
like they
point.
left
Yeah.
their last planet in a hurry, so.
Yeah, but you have essentials. You know what I mean? You don't wear Crocs if you're going to an alien planet and there could be enemies. Things are trying to eat you. Like,
That's a very good point.
and then, so if they made it, that's the reason why she's staying at the ship instead of fighting together. It's like, just make it co-op or come up with a better story than that. That was dumb.
I didn't even catch that part of it. I thought it was just she was just annoyed because she had to be like back fixing the ship and like making sure they were able to get off the planet when they needed to. And then Ronnie's just like, do I'm gonna go clean up this planet.
So I was always under the impression that they were just partners, like business partners. Like there was some things, like you guys said, I do agree. Like it kind of seemed like they were in a relationship, but they showed like no affection or anything. Like I don't know. To me, I felt like they were like best friends, like sisters.
See, I disagree. I get like their dialogue when she talks about like almost losing her and like, yeah, like basically you got away with just losing your hand, but she was like very concerned with losing her. So that it felt to me that, I mean, yeah, that could be the same way with like a sister friendly relationship. It doesn't mean they have to be romantically entwined, but it seemed to me like, no, I almost lost you and I don't want to do this again. I can't go on without you because I care about you.
Didn't Bex kind of save Ronnie? Like she was working off that debt or whatever, and she's the one that saved her. And I also think it's weird, like they're going onto these planets looking like just hoping to find like whatever's that they need, but they're gonna lose a ship if they don't get money. So it is kind of weird that like Ronnie is just kind of like, oh, let's just do this, do. It's like, no, like you might end up straying there and they'll take your ship. So I also kind of understand. I just feel like they painted Bex in a really bad light. But yeah, the way that they're talking, I'm definitely saying relationship with these two.
I mean, okay, well, at the end of the day, though, I at least got to praise the game for this, that if they are a relationship, I'm glad it's not like, this is the focal point. You know, these people are a couple and, like, just constantly make it front and center. So the fact that we're even having the discussion, I think is actually at least pretty good writing, that it's just, you know, they have an intertwined relationship, whether it be just, like,
but is it? Because I
or...
feel like when you're near someone, like a couple, and they're in a relationship, you know right away. Like, there's no babe. There's no...
I guess. Well, at the end of the day, though, I gotta say, these two characters are some of the worst characters, I think, in a video game. I did not like either of them.
Well, like I said earlier, Bex was just so mean to someone who was just rescued. And she just was all about, like, her woes. And, like, she's so mad at Ronnie that she can't see the bigger picture. Like, no, there are other lives at stake besides your relationship. Like, it was just very immature and kind of, like, unbelievable.
Yeah, there's some story elements I want to, like, get into later. Like,
sorry.
To me, that just kind of annoyed me.
Yeah. I also wanted to say really quick that something that really bothers me in games and in books, I've seen it in books, I hate when people give, like, people with American accents, like British lingo. No American's going around saying something along the lines of, like, this is bloody brilliant. No, we don't say bloody. Like, I mean, unless someone's bleeding. And I've seen it in books and gaming, and it's like, did they have, like, British writers and American writers? Like, I just feel like I've been seeing this more and more, and I'm just like, how did that escape people?
Wait, did they say blood in the game?
Yeah. Twice that I heard of, I think.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I got it right away because it's a pet peeve. But I thought it was funny that, like, the voice actor didn't even say, hey, am I supposed to be British right now? Like, and nobody caught on.
I didn't catch that at all. No. But I don't know.
It's a weird hang up.
I was going to say, I can't think if I've heard anyone say it. Like, I know people who are originally from England, but have largely grown up in America and don't have a thick accent, but still use some lingo. So, like, could be that.
Well, I get, like, it's in the future, and, you know, obviously, like,
It's
everyone
more
on
cultural,
Earth is,
like...
yeah. But I still don't think, it's just a weird thing to put in there.
I mean, it's weird, because so the company that made this game, Image and Form, is a Swedish company. Do Swedish people say bloody? I don't even know.
I love it. I wish that I could say it without sounding like a tool.
Pretentious.
Yeah, I would sound dumb, but, like, I do love that expression. I think it's kind of great.
Maybe the people who did their English translations for them, or British.
Maybe. So overall, though, as far as the gameplay goes for the Gunk, I don't know how about you guys, but like I enjoyed it, but it was very simple, which isn't a bad thing. Like you were saying, Liz, this game is very relaxing, but to me, it was just like I wanted more.
But you
especially in the
upgrade
combat.
your arm, but it doesn't add any new abilities. You just like make it stronger. So you're sucking. That's how you fight people.
No, you eventually get a laser. Eventually, you get a lore. Like there's
No,
something.
but these are like add-ons. But you're not getting like a new weapon.
Yeah.
You're not shooting in a different.
The upgrades I never really noticed too much of.
Yeah, you don't need them. So I mean, for me, it just I didn't really think that. And same with platforming, it didn't really change that much.
I wanted a double jump.
Yeah.
Or like a jetpack or something. I wish there was more abilities to do traversal.
I have thought there was a double jump, or was it that you could like? Did you have like a grapple or something?
Nope.
I admittedly like finished this game like a week and a half ago, so some of it like
there's no traversal upgrades besides you getting a laser to open doors.
Yeah, no, you get a slightly increased move speed, I believe. For one.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, you have to upgrade to get sprint.
That was so
for the
minuscule
sprint.
though. Like I would
It
do
really
it and
is.
I'd be like, I don't really see a difference.
Yeah.
What's
I mean,
the point?
I would because it was slightly faster to get places, but yeah, I think all in all, I think that was probably my biggest gripe about it, and you guys kind of both touched on it when you were talking about the simplicity of the game and things like that. It's one of the things that makes it so nice because it's nice and relaxing, but at the same time, it's where it kind of started to wear thin by the end, and that I was just kind of like, okay, cool. None of this is like really doing much. And it was like one of the only things in the game I didn't do was go back and try to upgrade everything because I didn't even think it would be fun enough to try. It was nothing more than an achievement. So I just didn't do it.
I also think too, something that Andrew disagreed with, there was a time or two when I'm playing the game and I'm sucking up the gunk and it starts encroaching, like going over me. I felt a little claustrophobic. I definitely liked the gameplay where it just sometimes you just felt way too closed in, or maybe it's just because I don't like tight spaces, but there was like a time or two that I was like, oh, I do not like this. Imagine being the character. Like, so for me, Keith's looking at me like I have two heads. There were certain times where I was like, they did a pretty good job there.
Yeah, when you're climbing like the super big gunk towers and you have to like
When
literally
you're outside
suck a path
and
up.
there's so much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I felt like closed in by it. I thought it was a cool environment to it, but I didn't feel anything by it. I just noticed it.
See, as I said, I just wish there was more for the combat and the like exploration. So like the game has collectibles where you get materials to get these abilities to upgrade. But as you said, like I didn't notice much of a difference.
I love the looting.
I know you love a game with good loot.
But even so, there's this ball that you throw into this pool and it creates these leaves. Even that stayed the same throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
So for me, like not even switching that up, it was kind of a bit of a bummer. And they had the same vines hanging down. And so, and they had all of it like towards the beginning. So I didn't feel like I was, discovering new things. It did just feel the same throughout like the entire process. So I think that was a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot to that. It just kind of did. I felt like at times it gave the game a certain puzzle-like aspect where you had to kind of figure out how to get the ball and things like that, but nothing that made it feel like, wow, this is new or exciting. It was just a means to an end, or it kind of stood in your path of just throwing the little green life ball into the puddle of goo and hooray, vines you can jump on.
For me, like kind of embarrassing, but like, there is a particular section where there's a bunch of different rooms and I was kind of stuck and I was like, I definitely missed something. And I went around a couple times and I'm like, screw it. I'm going to do a walkthrough. Like look at a walkthrough.
Well, that was going to be my next question. If you guys got stuck in any puzzles.
Because there was like a little thing that you missed. Like you didn't hit like so for me, I did look at a walkthrough, I think maybe 2 or 3 times. The first time it was like all those rooms, I was missing it. And then another time it was like the boss. But I felt like it was really easy to understand, but I missed something.
Yeah, I had no issues with any of the puzzles. I thought the actual like solution, everything was very simple. I was like, because like the nice thing about like a lot of the platforming and everything is really well telegraphed. You're not going to be like climbing up some random craggy wall that's like, oh, that doesn't look like a path. Everything's really well like telegraphed as to what it is. Anytime you can grab a ledge, it has yellow paint on it or moss.
Yeah, I thought that was very clear as well. The only thing I wish for the layout, I wish that there was a mini map, especially because there's a lot of times that you're branching off in so many different directions. I think I would have liked one of those.
No, I don't. This is going to be one of those though that I wouldn't say I disagree with you or say that I think you're wrong. I didn't feel like I needed one.
Well, I'm not saying I think the game should have one. I'm just saying that I would have wanted one.
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying is like I can absolutely. This is a game where like I can see where it's useful and I could see where it'd be nice to have, but I definitely don't think I would have used it. And like personally, I felt like I did fine without it. Like you'd at most usually have like 2 branches. And the one that you didn't need to go down, but maybe you could just get some collectibles were generally pretty short. So it was like, yeah, I'll just backtrack real quick and then go the other path. There would be probably a handful of times that I would just do that, run back, get distracted, and then go back down the same path I went. Now that happened probably more than a couple times, but I didn't think it was hard. I just was dumb.
I do think it's odd though for a game that actually has like crafting and upgrades. Getting a map and also upgrading the map to like reveal locations of collectibles, like how is that not an upgrade?
Or things you haven't scanned yet? Because I mean, especially there's also no chapter select. So with some of the achievements, you have to scan everything. Well, I'm not gonna play the whole game again just to scan like a couple things that I missed.
Well, you can continue your game and go back to those areas and try to get.
Or
them.
if you saved.
Yeah.
If you saved, and it's also like when and how often you save. So, I mean, for me, like, I could do it, but it's like, I just think that I would just like one or the other.
Well, I think there was really only one missable achievement, and I don't remember what it was. But yeah, you didn't even have to like backtrack in terms of story. You could fast travel to places after you had been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. That was one of the things that, I mean, I don't remember if it shows you all of the upgrades right away or until you get them available or whatever, but I figured there was going to be one. Yeah, like some sort of like actual terrain scanner. It made this thing like, oh, you get to scan things. I thought, yeah, scan the actual layout of the map. Or that's actually a place where I think, Liz, like you said, like a mini map could be like an upgrade that you could get or something like that, where you could have something that scans the entire level and whatever, or you find some statue or something, like some sort of device that gives you a map of the area you're in or something.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Like some sort of, like you get a beacon that would reveal the area or something like that.
Yeah, no. none of that.
which is really kind of annoying because, I mean, for the most part, I didn't feel like I ever got lost, but it just would have been nice to have like a mini map or some sort of way to like find collectibles or things that I'm missing along the way.
Yeah, well, and that's why I was very clear. Like, there's been games before where I'm just like, no, Liz, you're wrong. That doesn't need to happen. But I'm not even saying it's wrong. It's just I didn't feel like I needed it, I guess. But I could. It was weird that it didn't exist at the same time.
I mean, I would definitely rather have more gameplay elements, more enemies, more weapons or something, rather than have that. But I'm a little greedy tonight, I guess.
So we keep talking about it. I guess I might as well put it in now. The great thing about the Gunk is that it is incredibly short. So, like, this is a nice weekend game. Time to beat is normally, like, it's listed at 4.5 hours. But honestly, I think all 3 of us beat it in 6. And that's, like, doing, like, searching every nook and cranny and stuff like that. But, yeah, this game will not take you a very long time. So that's the nice thing about it.
Did you look that up? Because I felt like I played more than 6 hours
Oh,
in this
yeah.
game.
No, yeah, you did, like, 8, I think.
Okay.
But Liz is at, like, 7, and I'm at 6.
Okay, and I probably spent a good extra hour, I would say, trying to go back and like collect stuff to do the upgrades, but then just was like, this is boring and too much loading, and I gave up.
But I will say, I'm surprised that I actually found sucking up Gunk like actually fun, even though it's like
something
really simple.
satisfying about it.
Yeah.
When you get all of it, or like, and that's when like in areas where you can't get all of it, I was kind of bummed.
Well, yeah, and one of the biggest reasons, it's because of just like the visual gratification to it, because it's one of those games where like almost like a territory based game, like you clean up the area and all of a sudden just the land comes to life, everything turns green and luscious, and you can see like the defined area, and you're like, okay, now I need to go over here. And from a gameplay perspective too, like Andrew was saying, it's like the game felt very driven. you could tell where you needed to go. Because if there was something that was already green and luscious, you're like, I've been there. I don't need to go that area. Do you not like the word luscious?
I haven't heard that word in so long. I don't like it.
You don't like luscious?
It makes perfect. It's the perfect word for what you're saying and for the game. I 100% agree with that. But like, I just had a reaction to that.
I'm gonna use this word a lot now.
I could see, like, as soon as I said it, I saw your face just change.
You said it
like,
the second time, and I was like trying not to giggle.
Be like, babe, your hair looks luscious today.
Do you know what? There are ways to get back.
Luscious locks.
So.
I will say, like, and so, like, even though, like, Suck Up the Gunk is fun, the combat was so easy, and it was so disappointing. There's a total of, 3 enemies? You have, like, the little, like, Pomeranian-looking aliens, then you have ones that shoot you, and then you have, like, the big bulls. I was just kind of annoyed that the big charging bulls, they were the most fun and interesting to fight. They literally didn't show up until, like, the end of the game.
I got a game
like, 2.
over from them because you're stuck on that round disc. And I died. I actually got a game over. And they were like, Ronnie! Which was kind of sad.
What were they like?
But anyways, so there was one time that it was like spawning him on me and like, I couldn't do anything. I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to get a game over because whenever I spawn, he's there.
This is my life now.
And so, but the game kind of just like cheated and it was like, oh, he's going to go over. You can progress. Like, it felt bad for me.
I see. I mean, I agree, Andrew, that they were probably the most interesting, but they were still really boring. And
they were, but
and then after like
the
the first
nuisance.
like 3 or 4, I was like, I'm just gonna walk around you or stop for a minute and wait for you to walk by me, because if you don't get close enough, they don't attack you.
I had one actually spawn. Yeah, that segment you were talking about when you're riding the elevator, it spawned in the elevator.
That's the word, elevator. I was like, round disc thing.
Think of the word elevator. Oh my gosh.
Win some, you lose some.
But luckily, like with
Words
it
are
being
weird for you tonight, Liz.
But with it being spawned in the elevator, I was still able to attack it. So I was like, sweet, free victory for me. And I was able to just kill it that way. But yeah, so overall, like, I think the gameplay was fun. But I must say, I actually was impressed with the environment. I thought the graphics overall for the game is actually pretty nice. I like that it goes from, as you talked about, where it's really dark and like dingy with all the gunk, but then it becomes green and luscious.
And they have that majestic animal at one point that you're following around.
That's my one complaint. There's literally apparently like one deer-like creature in this entire planet. That's like the only creature that wasn't trying to kill you the entire game. Mm-hmm. Where's the wildlife?
But I also like too that there are some games that have like the vistas and you're supposed to be wowed and you're just like, oh, that doesn't look that great. I feel like they actually look nice here. I felt like the up close and the far away.
Well, the majority of this game is corridors. I feel like there wasn't a lot of vista views.
Yeah, when you get to like what is it? The little things over the river. The things over the.
Gosh.
I was trying to think of the thing over the river. Like I got the river. The you have to turn them.
It's okay. Like the water thing that goes in a line.
No, I was trying to think of what was on the river that you have to turn. It wasn't like a tunnel,
bridge?
But they were. I guess that works.
Yeah, those were just.
But anyways, that scene when you go in and you're looking around and you see what you have to do.
Yeah.
But I was like, that actually looks really nice.
This is an interesting episode, Liz. You haven't even been drinking.
Very tired.
No, I thought visually, I think that's one of the things that like kept me going in the game is, even though like there's different biomes, and they're all different. I think because of the fact that what you said, Andrew, that there's apparently just this one good creature, which also, I don't know, I thought it was sort of some like, like a deer god, almost like, call back to Deer Simulator there. Like maybe that's what this creature was, and it was going to restore life to the planet after you remove the gunk. I don't know. But
at the end of the game, you see more in a cutscene.
Okay.
Oh, so, yeah, but they don't look very good. I love the artwork at the end, but that creature did not look like it did in the game.
I don't know if I stuck around and watched that, I feel like, because I don't remember that. But I think, yeah, like you have that, and then just the lack of other character designs in the game, the changing biomes didn't almost matter, because it didn't do too much for me, but it looked really good. And yeah, just the way that the game changed and progressed, that it did feel nice, and I like just being like, oh, I'm just bringing this planet back to life. So I did like that part of it.
I just realized, kind of off topic, I agree with you, Keith, but I also wish there was more of the robot.
Oh yeah, Kurt.
Yeah.
He just keeps saying, "You got served."
Oh yeah, I
thought he was funny and charming. I'd like more.
Do they give you like what the abbreviation Kurt is for? Because I feel like there's got to be something to that, and why he keeps saying you got served.
I think it did in the encyclopedia. I mean, he's specifically like a food serving robot.
Oh, for some reason I had in my head that he was like serving warrants. That's why he was saying he got served.
he's
And I was like, is this
people
like
to
some
court.
sort of like warrant officer boss or bot or something? I was very confused, but it did make me laugh every time he said it.
I do remember them actually saying like he's specifically like a culinary robot.
Okay.
But yeah, I do wish there was just like going back to the story. Now that you bring it up, I wish it just was more backstory with a lot of the characters and stuff. It'd been nice to have like a pre-cutscene.
Or what happened to Earth.
Yeah, I think it's still around.
Yeah, I thought it was just like in a futuristic world where.
Well, no,
travel.
based off of what the bad guy said.
Well, he just said that you guys like
Destroyed it, I thought.
not destroyed it, but I think just like mined it and like get most of its resources.
I mean, it could be arguable that we've taken our own damage on this planet as it is, but I mean, but it's not dead yet.
Still kicking. But
Wow.
But we'll get into the spoilers. I feel like I want to talk some story stuff at the end of this.
Oh, because I have my theories.
Oh, you have theories. I think that's theories.
Theories might be a strong word for it. But
Okay.
anywho's.
But yeah, so like overall, like graphic wise, I think this game's pretty solid. But even Liz, I remember you were praising it. The music in this game is actually really good.
I like the music. I thought it was way better than I was anticipating. And same with like we were talking earlier, the gameplay was just kind of, simple. I feel like the music and the graphics really elevated it.
I kind of forgot about the music, to be honest. I remember thinking I liked it, but it's not memorable to me in the sense that it's stuck with me now. And maybe that is because I only played like 8 hours of it or whatever, but I don't remember it.
It has a lot of orchestral music, so they do have a good amount of like cellos, violins. Like it's really good, and the soundtrack is on Spotify. So if you're someone who likes a good soundtrack, it is there. But yeah, the music.
That's why I'm surprised Keith hasn't been listening to it because we both thought it was good, and
Yeah.
you're all about it.
I mean, my Spotify listening is weird these days. I think I've said this before. I don't.
You have.
I don't often listen to what I'd like to.
But yeah, I actually highly recommend that people actually check out the soundtrack. The sound effects overall, though, I thought were just okay. Some of the stuff got a little annoying. You're hearing your vacuum suck up a lot.
I was gonna say it's a lot of slurping noises.
Yeah.
That didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me, but it's not a pleasant sound that you want to hear all the time.
If somebody has, I forget what the disorder is called, where you can't hear people chewing. This obviously isn't chewing, but I feel like they wouldn't like it.
That I can't remember the name either, but that's Amber. We have she does not do loud chewing, so also things like slurping noises aren't great. So I didn't play this around her very much.
Liz hates.
For me, it's people chewing bagels with their mouths open. Oh,
No.
Chewing anything with your mouth open is just disgusting.
but it's bagels even worse.
No, I'm sorry she did say it. I thought you were going to say your big one, Liz.
What?
Anytime someone drinks, if they go, she hates.
Oh my
when people say
goodness.
at the end. Anytime they take a drink.
It's so like when they do it like so dramatically, I can't. I really hate it.
No, that's.
I mean, I just do it when I like down a bunch of water and I'm literally taking a breath because I can't breathe.
See,
You do it a little frequently. Maybe you're a little dehydrated. You need to drink more water throughout the day, and then I wouldn't have to hear.
I mean, so I don't do the
Or you can love my
'cause
flaws.
doing the that there's no reason for that. There's just no reason for that.
Really?
You're not in a
Nice
movie.
hot day and you don't drink a nice tall glass of lemonade.
No, it's the
Yeah,
same
you
with
can't be
chewing
like,
with your mouth open. It's
Yeah,
a choice. You're choosing to do it.
It's
Yeah,
satisfying.
You don't need to let out an but I often get yelled at for apparently I swallow or gulp water very loudly, so I don't know.
I can't do it.
if you
I don't
like-
know how not to, but I try not to. I do try my best, but I don't know how to swallow water different.
But that's like how I am because like I do
you're
not drink.
chugging.
Yeah, I don't drink water throughout the day. I just chug a big old
I
glass, like
should
16 ounce.
say, if you like, the thing is a choice. Some people do have to chew with their mouth open because of medical reasons. So I mean, like, I guess that isn't fair. I feel like someone's gonna yell at me and be like, "I have a medical reason." That's different. That's not what I'm saying. You do you.
I choose to state that I found the beverage satisfying. It's the same as letting out a fart. It's a compliment. The food was delicious. Okay, apparently I'm the only one in this boat.
So anyways,
The sounds of this game are great.
so as we said, the slurping sound in the game, not so great. We don't really need that. But otherwise, ought to play a good game.
But you also got to argue too. What other choice could they do for a sound effect? As you're making a slurping noise every once in a while, it shoots out like a bell and whistle, or does a little deedly doo to change up the sound.
You could have just done a diddly dee the whole time if you wanted to.
The entire time you're sucking,
This is-
just do something like that.
Their world and their story. They could have made that any sound they want. Maybe it could have been alive just enough to make its own sound, and it'd be like, "Oh, hello."
We've
Every time.
actually played a lot of games with like vacuum suckers, though. So it's like comparing to others.
Name one other.
Well, the sound of the vacuum itself wasn't the problem. It was the sound of the gunk going into your vacuum that made a weird slurpy noise.
It was Astroneers, the one that you're collecting materials.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think we actually did quite a few with vacuums.
I think.
But
we
if it's a
complained
game
about
like
it then, too.
Astroneer, it's like blocky, so it would sort of do like a thunk 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 thunk. If I remember, like
Oh
I don't know,
yeah.
like it would do like individual things hitting it. The gunk it's a goopy liquid is how they
It's
make
a gunk.
it look. It's a gunk. So like I agree with Andrew as far as from like what would you expect it to sound like, but it's their game. They can make it sound however they want to sound. Could have had a
I don't
whistling
mind
sound.
it.
It just it didn't bother me, but but it wasn't great at the same time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a lot of talk about one sound in
I
this.
know. I know. That's probably like a longest segment.
But the voice
No.
acting, I think, was really good.
Yeah, largely. The dialogue
most part.
wasn't great, but the
Yeah.
Well, but I
voice
I
acting's
said that
good.
earlier. The dialogue, I don't really agree with too much. But I mean, like, yeah, I think the voice acting was pretty good.
But you know what else is really great though? It's the achievements. Boy, howdy, is this game great for achievement hunters.
So I don't know if you guys got any since I last looked. This is when we all
No.
completed the game. So I had 775, 12 out of 17. Andrew 800, and Keith, the winner, 950. So I mean, yeah, I got 775. I put 7-ish hours into the game. I beat it. I would say that's pretty fantastic.
Man, I'm gonna have to edit out a lot of my coughing.
Oh, you were coughing when I was talking?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not your
I'll
fault.
just say it again.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
Well,
just a little cough.
you guys
in
are
the
on
background.
different audio lines. Can't you just mute yours during that?
We're in one.
Oh, never mind.
That's fine. That's what I get for having a cold or COVID. It's one or the other.
At least make sure people understand that you work in a COVID unit, so if you catch it, you're not just out there all willy-nilly.
I can't give COVID to people who already have it.
Yeah, you're not just out there just, licking door handles and stuff. Although maybe you are.
I could still be doing that in my
But-
free time.
I don't ask
I
questions.
do enjoy looking some good door handles.
Well, you never know. I mean, there's all kinds of different types of metal. Sometimes they're
Brass. It's
iron,
got some-
steel.
I was in middle school and I saw somebody lick the salad dressing thing.
Are you
that
serious?
it pours out of? Yeah. I saw somebody
Whoa,
lick it.
wait, like is it a ladle? Like that?
Like you with the spout that it pours out of.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
was
gross.
it like their own personal bottle, or was this
No, it was a communal.
Because
salad bar.
we're not gonna say like when I lived alone, I would maybe run my finger over it and whatever, clear off
Yeah.
the top. But
Yeah.
I was
What
the only
you
one
do
using
in your
said
own home. It's
well,
like
and
if
I was
you're
the only
eating
one
by
using
yourself.
that salad
yeah.
dressing. That's my point. But if it's a communal, even if it's communal amongst a family, I'm like, no, I will get a paper towel. That is gross.
Remember that weird, stupid trend for a while where people were opening ice cream and licking it and putting it back?
People are the worst.
It's so savage. We have gone on so many different tangents this episode.
I mean, I feel like we need to fill the air somehow.
Well, we got the spoiler cast coming up. That'll fill it.
Ooh, spoiler cast. I didn't know we had a name for it now.
Yeah. I mean, is that what it's always called?
That's exciting. I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, if you're an achievement hunter, anyway, back to the game. Yeah, I highly recommend it for achievement hunters. And as I said, if you are joining our monthly achievement, leaderboard, make sure you message me. I will be sure to add you to my friends list, and I will be posting a midweek picture of who is in first place at our Facebook group, Game Pass Pals, or no, GBGB Pals. So make sure you join our club too on Xbox if you are joining the leaderboard achievements.
When's the last time you were first?
Shut up. Anyway, moving on. So we're getting into our final thoughts here. And then after our final thoughts, if you want you want to hear some spoilers of the story, stick around. But I'll go first. So for me, the Gunk, it was very easy, very short. It was short and sweet. And that's what I loved about it. It didn't overstay its welcome. I will say I did not like the characters. I was disappointed in the story, disappointed in the combat. Honestly, a little disappointed in the platforming. But at least it was short. So it wasn't like offensive. I did have fun with it. Achievements were great. It was a nice world to explore. The graphics and the music was really relaxing. So for me, this is a perfect weekend game. If you're just looking for just something simple, I totally recommend the Gunk. But for score, I think I'm just going to give it a 75.
Yeah, so I think you summarized it really well. But I
do that.
Yeah, it's why I like games that we don't agree on, because then I feel like I have something different to say. But I think all in all, I think it was a good game. I mostly was just laughing the whole time that you're like, no, I don't mind that there's not much stuff to it because, it was a short game. And then I think of all the short games, you're like, oh, let me tell you, it didn't
like
have
the Deer
this.
Simulator. I knew that's what you're going to bring up. Or yeah.
That's a
Deer Simulator was just so boring.
Yeah, but it was like 2 hours, and it was fun for the 2 hours I played it. Anywho, we're not talking about Deer Simulator. My point is that I think, yeah, it's great for the short amount of time. It's something that you could hand off to. I think really, if you've got any of your young kids that are competent with a controller, is really about all you need to play this game. Yeah. And you're able to push the buttons that you need to push because it's very forgiving. And stealing from Liz's initial, kind of assessment of the game is that it's nice and relaxing. It doesn't overstay its welcome. The visuals are nice. The audio is nice mostly. And yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, but I agree with Andrew. I'm going to say the same score and you say 75.
Oh, it's just going to be a triple?
No.
Oh.
I think I liked it a bit more. So I am going to give it an 80. Because I just found it so relaxing. I enjoyed playing it. And there are some things that I wish were a little bit better. So for instance, the gameplay and stuff. But I just enjoyed it so much. And I feel like if they came up with another one and they could improve upon that and add more to that, I think that would be fantastic. But also, if it was more funny, because like that You Got Served thing, I thought that this was going to be a funny game. Get rid of that relationship arc and all that stuff and make it a funny game. I think it would have been great. Oh.
Yeah, I fully agree. I was expecting this game to be a lot more humorous too.
I think that would have, because I think I would have forgiven like the lack of gameplay more if it had a lot of humor.
Yeah, but you say sequel, like what would they call the sequel?
Well, because I feel like they can't really. I mean, what would they go back and add more? It's such a short game.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, if there was another The Gunk, like in The Gunk 2, I feel like if they added more gameplay and stuff, I've said this before, like about like base games, like I like the graphics, I like the music, I just need, more or different story. I prefer different, and then more gameplay. Yeah. But looking at Metacritic, Series S 70 and 7, and Xbox One 69 and 4.7. Listen, these games that don't do the Russian localization, you don't make the Russians angry. They're going on Metacritic, okay? So
it's always the Russians. I feel like no, we got a good amount of French ones too. Complain.
Yes, but the Russians, they'll give those zeros. So, and I think the main complaint on Metacritic was that the game is simple. That was the key word, simple. So,
which isn't, it's not really a complaint though.
Yeah,
because there's other harder platformers who go on harder platformers.
They're scoring it lower though because it's simple.
But see, that's such a dumb thing to say. Like, I mean, I don't.
I guess is that technically what we did too, though.
No,
we
'cause
did,
we're
but we
saying,
didn't
like-
bomb it for it. We just said
Yeah.
it was part of what the game was. I think just
Oh,
overall
people,
we weren't
it
like,
wasn't zeros that gave that said simple. I'm saying all the Russians gave the zeros.
Yeah.
oh,
That's
okay.
why it was 4.7. I'm saying the main
Well,
complaint
even- but
in the
I guess even
reviews.
4.7 though, like that's still like so low for this just because it was too simple. Like again, yeah, I would have rated this higher if there was more complexity to it because it just would have made it more fun. But I think then I would have wanted to play it for 3 or 4 more hours because I didn't have to, and I didn't have those. That's where I don't think it was a fault in the game. That's why it's still like a 75 is still a good score. 4.7 is not.
Yeah.
Or
I also,
47
for me,
in
like, my biggest complaint is I just didn't like both of the characters.
yeah, they were annoying largely.
Which, which let's get into now, right?
Oh, see, I thought we were gonna do full outro.
Nah, we'll do that after. So let people get some time, to stop if they don't want to listen to the spoilers.
Bye, everybody who's not listening to the spoilers, or come back later.
All right, so getting to the spoilers here. So this brought up the fact that, yes, you save one alien. So my very first question to you guys, because it was bothering me, what the heck is the gunk? Like, what is it? It's semi-sentient, but it's not.
I always
Where'd it
took
come
was
from?
like a virus of some sort, like or viral parasite.
I got it was
Well-
like kind of a parasite, but this is what irritated me. You save an alien. She's asking the alien a bunch of questions. Oh, how's your culture? What did you guys do for fun? Like stuff about their civilization. Literally, the very first question I was asked is, "What the heck is this gunk? Like, how do I get rid of it? Like, what is it doing?"
I'm assuming it's like a byproduct of what they're doing, the
Yeah.
bad guys are doing.
So I took it
they're-
as, yeah.
Yeah, so they're destroying the planet by creating what they want, what they think is, more efficient.
Well, right. So,
But it's not a byproduct. It's trying to eat the product.
And maybe it's creating energy for him. Maybe
So-
whatever it is eating up all the plant life and using that as energy.
Well, so we're talking spoilers, right? So the very end of the game is you find this like giant god alien creature thing.
The gardener.
Yeah,
Which very intimidating name.
That came to this planet, as I understood. It was
No, I
like,
think he was always there.
see, I didn't take it as that, and maybe I missed this, but my understanding and what I thought happened was the gardener came to this planet. Was like, I'm going to offer you this utopia. Here's what's going to happen. It's going to become the Matrix. You're going to live in these tiny little tubes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too.
And you're living in this little perfect utopian world inside your brain. And what you're giving up is your soul to this gardener, your body to this gardener. But really all this gardener wants is to consume the planet. And he does it in the name of like, I'm going to help you.
But
And
they
then-
said it was gradual. It was they
Right.
gradually kind of got into the pods. So
Yeah.
they said they got lazy. It used to be that they'd have to work for things and they didn't, and it was just this slow. They actually did agree to it, and it
So-
was just a slow progression of it.
Yeah, so my assumption was kind of like that he showed like he had this power because he goes around, he's like this all-powerful creature and essentially goes and like consumes planets, or at least it's some sort of like alien race that's like what they do, almost like it's this is completely theorizing at this point, and also in the assumption again that he showed up there the way I thought he did.
But what is he promising them? Because so they have been alive in those pods for a long time.
Yeah, 400 years was the one you
So
saved.
is he offering them like eternal life kind of thing? Or because if I saw somebody in a pod and they were like, "Come here, join us," I'd be like, "Heck no! What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Like I took it as like some sort of like religious thing. Like he came to this planet in almost like some sort of prophet type of way. Like, hey, I'll offer you this like perfect life. Just, look at what I can do for your planet. This will be the world you live in. And just, climb into these pods. And I'm definitely not going to absorb your energy and take over your planet. Like, that's not what I'm going to do. And that's why you eventually had to fight him. And then they come out of the pods. And then they're like, oh, yeah. And you're right. Yeah, they said they got lazy because they just were shown this like, hey, just follow me and everything is perfect. So they're like, yeah, why work for it when it's just there? And then they can do that forever.
But this is what it doesn't make sense to me. It's like the gardener was trying to blame you as a human. You guys destroy planets and take everything it's worth. And it's like, well, isn't that what he's doing? Because that's what I didn't understand with the story is So he would take people in pods, and it would create that energy that you're throwing the pods in and creating beautiful plants and whatnot. So why would everyone agree to it? Where it's like, heck, if only half our population did this and created this wonderful energy to make civilization better for the rest of us that aren't in pods. I don't get why people would be like, yeah, let's all go into a pod for, I don't know, reasons. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And then, like, it's like, yeah, that's what I took too, was like, it was the Matrix, like you said, Keith. You know, these people went into pods and essentially became batteries and produced this energy. But that's why I was like, what is this gunk then?
I wasn't sure if they were trying to do a symbolism between like
Symbology.
Earth now, between Earth now and the game. So I thought it was like they were trying to do that, and it was just kind of coming across a little.
I mean, I think it did in a sense, but ultimately, I think, yeah, it just, I don't know. And this isn't something that I was like, wow, that's a great story. But yeah, it was almost just like this weird Matrix thing, but that it just came to them through like this alien life form, not just like an AI that took over the planet.
Because then it's weird too. Like, what are the gunk creatures? You don't see them transform to regular creatures when you clean an area.
Maybe they're like the small creatures and insects that are kind of taken over by the gunk. Like maybe they can't go in pods. It's like, you know, if it came to Earth and all the spiders, you know, got possessed by the gunk.
I mean, that's another good point. Why couldn't you put the creatures in the pods, like deer and stuff?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like maybe he only did it for them because they were, you know,
Like
more up
sentient,
there.
yeah, like sentient creatures. Like it was like stealing their soul more than anything. Assuming they have souls, I don't know. They're alien creatures.
But I do think it's weird that they just didn't explain what the gunk was. Because literally, too, the entire game, which Liz didn't notice, your character is wearing a gas mask. And at one point, you break the gas mask, and your character's freaking out about it. But it's like, well, why do you need the mask? What's so important about the mask?
I mean, the gas mask, I assume, is like because they go around to different planets that they don't know what they're on. And so, again, she was freaking out. She didn't know what she was breathing in, but probably wasn't anything. I don't know.
You think they could test a sample of the air? You know, they have these spaceships and stuff. You think that they'd be able to do like a quick air sample to make sure that you're not going to die? I feel like that, like, you have that technology.
Yeah. And all right. And so I want to get to the relationship of these two. As I said, I hated these two characters. I felt like they were just constantly bickering, and it just annoyed me. Like, I wanted depth from these characters, but it was constantly your character going, I want to explore and help this planet. And your partner, Bex, just being like, you know, you need to be safe. But it's like, I thought the whole purpose of you being on this planet was to find this energy source and to make money.
Well, for me,
so it's like she needs to explore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they went there for a reason, and Bex is hiding the fact that they're behind on all these payments, and she's letting it build and fester, and then she's just like blowing up at her the entire time that she's like risking her life to save these aliens. And it's like, why don't you just save that conversation for later and take off your Crocs and jump in? Like, that's what I don't get, where it's just like she's complaining about like their roles and stuff, and it's like, why are you doing this when she's fighting monsters?
See, that's where I did take it as like they were in a more like involved relationship, because I mean that's a pretty common thing. Like people will hide things like that and then they like blow up at each other. And I don't know. So it's like that's not all that crazy of a story, I guess. And I think it actually made them a little bit more human. But I also at the same time agree with Andrew that I didn't find either of them interesting, and largely I thought their dialogue was annoying. So it was kind of just another game that I followed the story actually on this one, but I just didn't care for it.
I also feel like too, it's like that movie, I want you to want to do the dishes. I feel like they probably had this conversation a million times in this relationship, and it's like
it takes two, like the broken clock.
Yeah,
saved the day. Sorry, go ahead.
So for me, it's like, are they just magically going to change after having this issue for forever? You know, like the cookie cutter ending. It's like, you know, I don't know.
I do think it's funny that majority of the game too, Bex is talking about how you guys you have enough fuel to basically do one more jump. Basically, you guys are so low on fuel.
What if you're stranded?
And she literally uses some of that fuel to ditch you. When your character's like, no, I want to save the aliens. And Bex is like, well, screw you, I'm leaving. It just ditches you and leaves you on a planet.
That's the thing. They're there for a while. Like, if they just fixed the ship and then did all the stuff together, and like, she's just sitting back there. She already did the ship stuff. So it's like, they just need to be more productive.
I know, Bex literally was doing nothing.
Yeah. except for complaining. And just like, I don't know. That relationship dynamic, I just could have done without.
Yeah, and so I found the ending just disappointing too. So after the credits, when they're flying back, it's just like, well, we're still broke, but we saved a planet. And it was just like, well, now you guys are going to lose your ship.
Yeah, but at least they have that memory.
And it also annoyed me too, like the fact that they didn't explain what the gunk was.
You're really hung up on that.
Well, because where's all the gunk going that you're sucking up?
I mean, that's a good question.
I was curious about that too.
Because, yeah, no, I didn't really know that, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, we're not looking at her back, are we? I don't remember.
Yeah,
like
third person.
Because I was going to say, I mean, like, what do we do with all of our pollution and stuff from all the...
Plants.
But if she's just spitting it back out, what's the point of sucking it up in the first place?
I know.
So that you can get to where you need to be. You can clear an area.
But by putting it out, then it wouldn't just be like consuming the environment again?
We clean up pollution and then put it somewhere else. I mean, we're kind of known for it. So, I mean...
Well, the plants clean up the pollution here on Earth.
I mean, I guess I just assumed, like, your vacuum arm thing just, I don't know, like, chewed it up. And, I don't know, it was like some sort of, like, actual vacuum, space vacuum. It just put it into space. That's where it went. Space.
I was thinking that, too. I was wondering, like, what is this magical thing, like, storing?
I know. There's this weird gunk, but somehow I can magically make it disappear. But I do think it's funny that you guys are trying to find this energy source to make money. What about all these rare minerals and everything that you're discovering?
Well, they said that you would need, I forget, like a butt ton or whatever.
Oh, they actually said
actually said that at the beginning, like, oh, what's this? Could we sell this? And she's like, yeah, you need like 5 tons of that. Yeah. I don't remember the actual like amount, but yeah, they did bring that up.
So yeah, I understand the writing isn't perfect, but it was just like these questions were just annoying me. And it's like, for me, I wish there was more explanation of the dynamic in like the relationship between Bex and Rami.
Do you think they just deliberately made everything unclear? Because like I said, I thought that they were trying to do some symbolism. And then I also thought that they were definitely a couple. There were a lot of things that I'm like, I feel like they're going this way, but everything is just open. So maybe they did it on purpose. And I don't like that.
I feel like it wasn't. I feel like it was just... I feel like everything about this game was just meant to be just something super small, almost like a tech test. Like just something really tight and well made, but just didn't really build much for lore. I don't know, that's my guess. But I don't know, I guess we'll never know. Hopefully some listeners out there, maybe I can shed some light. Hopefully you guys figure some stuff out. Please tell us. You can email us at GamePassGrabBag@gmail.com or Twitter at GBGBpod or Facebook at GBGB. But I think that's going to do it for us. So we'll wrap it up here. I've been your hardcore gamer, Mr. Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird0952. Please, we'd love some game recommendations. We have a couple coming up, so you can look out for those. But, yeah.
I've been Keith. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm done. Go.
Okay. No, I'll just leave it at that. Keith. It's always...
I'm Liz Noob, gamer tag. Come on, I'm Dean. I'm on Twitter at Liz Noob. Noob is EW.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. Love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.